everyone, and welcome to Schmidtless Live. I'm Kurt Schmidt, president at Foundry, and the show here is meant to educate and inspire leaders in technology and design. I am extremely excited today because I've got one of my great friends, Josh Fedie from Salesreach, joining me. We're going to talk all things Buyer Enablement. We're going to talk about startups and what you need to know as a startup, growing your customer base, and then also just in general. Josh has got so many great ideas on marketing and sales. So if you have questions, put them in the chat or the comments, or if you're watching it later, make sure you comment because we'll be checking those as well. So before we get started, I do have to make a quick plug. So we are hiring at Foundry. There's foundrymakes.com/careers. We're looking for all sorts of people and all sorts of roles in technology and design. So check it out if you want to come and work at Foundry. So let's jump right in and talk to my friend Josh. Josh, how are you today?
Man, I'm great. Thank you so much. I've known you for 2 years.
Yep.
And finally, I think you're like scraping the bottom of the barrel. You're like, I've run out of interesting people. I better reach out to Josh. We better just do this so I can do a show.
I was struggling. I couldn't find anybody at the last minute. And I was like, well, who has just got nothing going on?
I don't have enough going on, so we should do this. This is great, though.
Yeah.
This is, to use our favorite word, this is so rad to be on the Schmidtless podcast.
Super rad.
So thank you.
Yeah,
so much.
I'm excited you're here. So Josh, you're at Salesreach. You're the founder, CEO. Tell me what Salesreach is. What do you do there?
Yeah. So Salesreach, we're a sales tech solution. We help businesses with what we call buyer enablement. And so to really quickly break down what buyer enablement is, many people have heard of sales enablement. Many people have heard of smarketing or sales and marketing alignment. Those are ways to better equip internal teams to move quickly, to find the materials they need to be effective in a sales process. Buyer enablement takes it to the next step. So our solution helps sales professionals create very hyper-personalized portals for their customers and prospects to find the myriad of information that they need specifically while they're going through their buyer's journey. This can be either in business development or in customer success, project management, onboarding and training. That's how we better enable our buyers to feel confident to move forward with us. So that's what we do.
Okay, cool. So that's what I want to jump in about because, you know me, I'm, a junior at marketing and you're the marketing guru guy. So the thing I'm having trouble keeping up with is just like you said, sales enablement, buyer enablement, smarketing, like what's the new term this year and what do I, it's like keeping up with JavaScript, and what versions are coming out. So how do I, first of all, why do these nomenclatures keep changing? Is it just people are looking for the next thing or, it sounds like it's all kind of the same thing like you just mentioned.
Yeah, I mean, in many ways, sales acceleration, sales enablement, smarketing, in many ways, those are very much the same thing.
Okay.
And it's not like buyer enablement is all that different. It's just each one of those four kind of catchy phrases or words that I use focuses on kind of a niche, right?
Yep.
So sales enablement, those are typically a tool set that enables your sales team to find the information that they need, move quickly, be informed, monitor calls. There's like 7,000 technologies that are sales enablement solutions on the market, okay?
Yep.
Smarketing or sales and marketing alignment, that's really talking about other kinds of tools, asset management systems, things of that nature, CRMs that help marketing teams understand what's happening with the sales team and to better understand how they can support the sales team moving forward. All of these terms are basically the same thing. The big difference between those terms and buyer enablement is that buyer enablement is truly focusing beyond what happens in the company. It's focusing on the most important equation here, which, as we all know, you're not going to land a deal, you're not going to have a happy customer unless you're focusing on the experience you're providing to that customer.
Sure.
So, equipping your sales team with a way to find the materials they need quickly, that's great. Obviously, but that's an internal focus. That solves for an internal challenge, which is speed wins. How do we respond faster? The customer wants you to respond faster, but the ways that you send it, there's a myriad of different ways that you can get them the information that they need. And not all of them are customer are going to improve the experience. They're not going to necessarily make it easy for them to make a decision. It's just, you needed information. I got you information. I used my sales enablement tools to distribute this information. Good luck. Organize it, please. Right. So we're really focused on making better relationships, and just honestly, the word experience, I use it a lot because there should be an experience of working with you. I think that a lot of sales professionals that are successful at their core are entertainers, right? They like to host. They like to throw a party, right? They like to bring people into their world.
They like to bring gifts.
Experience. Yeah, when you work with me, you're experiencing the Josh effect, right? And that sounds really silly to say. I hope nobody, if somebody's like listening to this and like, he said it, there's the first stupid quote from Josh.
I don't want any piece of that, really.
Honestly. No, seriously. But that's what every sales professional is looking for, is like, I want to bring you in to my group, right? You're a part of my family now. You're going to get to do the things that we do here. And, we'll get into all of that kind of stuff down the road, but that's the fun. That's the part I love about sales.
But as a business owner myself, I get inundated with, marketing things to help me grow leads. I mean, every day on LinkedIn, I get a message saying, I can get you 300 qualified leads for $50 or this and that. Or I get a message from Salesforce saying, if I just install Salesforce and use it, I'm good, I'm set, I'm ready to go. HubSpot, same sort of thing. How as a business owner, how do I weed, through all these different tooling and these things to find out what's right for my sales team or the people that are doing the selling, like you said, inside my organization? Where do you start?
Yeah, it's a long journey, right?
Yeah, it feels like it.
There are literally companies that exist to help review your company's process and give you a tool set that you should be using. Like literally there are companies that is all they do, because it's so challenging. And it's challenging because, like I said, there's like 7,000 sales enablement solutions on the market. How could you ever get through 7,000 tools? And so really, it has to be a team approach. You have to find a way to break down those barriers that exist between sales and marketing teams, first of all, right? People talk a lot about the fact that there's this wall between sales and marketing.
Oh, it's usually a big divide, right?
It's a huge divide, right? Marketing is over here saying, we don't know what those sales guys do. We're giving them all these incredible leads and they're not even closing half of them.
They're not calling them. And the salespeople are like, I'm not getting any leads, at least nothing good. Right.
Right. They're saying all you're sending me is crap. Right. And, and what do you do all day? Oh, great. You made a fancy picture. Good job, marketing.
Yeah. Thanks for posting to Facebook. I'm still, my commission is zilch for the year.
And it comes down to this focus that's happening right now, where a lot of organizations are talking about accountability to revenue to marketing teams. Right. And this is kind of a scary thing for some marketing teams right now. Some are jumping all over it. They're excited. Yes. Count me in. I want to be accountable for revenue growth. I want to be accountable for the quotas that you guys are hitting. I want to be able to report more than just what our social media posts did, right? But first, it starts with breaking down that barrier. The second barrier that I'm seeing needs to be broken down is sales and marketing need to come together and start having open, honest conversations with the next group that gets involved in the process, which is customer success, right? That's another division that's kind of left to their own devices many times in organizations. We landed a deal, here you go. And it's like, whoa.
Yeah, and you guys worry about retention. I'm going to get the next big fish, right?
Right. And many times the details that are passed off to between marketing and sales and the details passed off from sales to customer success are really cloudy. And you can't really expect to find success between those divisions working collaboratively if they don't all have the full picture all the time. And so a lot of the best organizations are looking at ways to use tools to better align all those teams to have more visibility on what's better impacting the probability of landing the deals, leading to longer relationships with our customers, right? And it's unique to every company. It's absolutely unique. So the conversation should start before you invest in the tool.
Okay.
That's the first tip. Start the conversation before you invest in the tool. Find some tools that you think might be a solution, put them in the back of your head, sit down with those teams. Don't just have this conversation in marketing. That happens way too often, that marketing decides on a tool for sales to use, spends a bunch of money and time implementing it, hands it off to a sales team that says, I don't want to use this.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing.
That happens all the time. Yeah, because many of them are too complex for the group that's actually going to be using them. So many sales tools that exist right now are built for marketing teams. They're very, very tech first, right?
Yeah.
And a sales team isn't always super tech savvy. A sales team, they want to move fast. They have a sense of urgency. It's speed wins, not quality all the time, right?
Sure.
And so, and they don't build websites for a living. They don't shoot videos for a living.
Right.
If you're going to ask them to shoot videos, you better make it easy. If you're going to ask them to make portals for their customers, you better make it easy.
Yep.
If you're going to ask them to log their conversations in their CRM, it better be an intuitive CRM,
yep.
right? It better be a tool like Gong that is automatically recording the phone call, so they don't have to do any work to get the transcription of the call into the CRM, right? All of those sorts of things are important. So if your business is heavily focused on calling, tools like Gong are going to be a really good fit for you, obviously, right? If your sales reps are always on the phone, let's invest in a tool that is always on the phone with you. If your sales team is sending a lot of emails, okay, well then and if the emails are successful, if that's bringing in revenue, then let's focus on tools that leverage more automation from emails or make it easier for them to start sequences, build cadences, all that sort of stuff. But I think across the board, looking for tools that provide visibility across the board, looking for tools that work across the board, looking for tools where literally marketing isn't setting it up and forgetting it. Marketing is in it every day, just as sales is in it every day, just as customer success is in it every day. If you can find those tools where they're all leveraging them together, that's where I'm seeing a lot better adoption and success in organizations.
Well, because again, back to what you were just talking about, automation, which sounds great because then I've got more time to do other things, right? If I just have sales automation, marketing automation, proposal automation, I just automate the whole thing, Josh, and it's just like me as a one-man band, right?
No, I'm not gonna get on board with that, dude. And you're leading me down a road. I'm
not trying to bait you at all.
I know you're not. You're the creepy guy in the van with candy written on the side.
It has windows.
Here's the thing, man. I am so anti-automation. It's not even funny. Look, down the road, my software will have automations in it because we're going to have to. Customers are asking for it. They're demanding it. But my contention is that a customer can smell automation 10 miles away, right? It does not make you feel good. I received an email just the other day. I'm not going to go into too many details about it because I don't want to offend anybody, but I received an email just the other day that started out with this really nice message about how much they loved being a part of something that I was a part of with them. And it was an automated message. And I get why they start with that message, oh, we absolutely love being a part of this with you. And
Sure.
It was what you said was so great. And I'm like, yeah, but you are literally sending that exact same sentence to every person in your list. Now, not only did you not make me feel special, you didn't even make me feel halfway special. You actually offended me. I literally was offended by that because it's why are you treating me like a number right now? We are actually friends. I actually know you as a real person.
Yep.
And now you're treating me like a number. And so what I spend my days focusing on is how can we be very, very personal in our approach? Actually be personal.
Yeah.
Do things that are custom made for these individuals we're selling it to, but do it in a way that's easy and fast so that when they receive it, their first thought is, oh, this must have been automated. There's no way that they did this just for me. And then when they do, they're like, whoa, you did all of this just for me? How much do you like? How much do you actually want to work with me? That's so important. So anyway, I think I was chopping up there. I hope I didn't go silent.
All right. So let's
Kurt,
jump right
Kurt,
into
I have a question for you.
Oh, please,
for you. Are you hungry? Because I got a little logo soup going on over here. Look at this. Oh my God.
It's very nice, Josh.
Always be branded.
You need Salesreach branded headphones and glasses too.
I got the shirt on here too. Look at that.
That's great. Thank you for that.
Did you? I'm sorry. It's a little sunny. I should probably put on. I'm
I'll
kidding.
leave it to Josh. Oh,
There's the cheesy moment.
well, it's all right. It's all right. There will be many more to come. So, so okay, let's talk about buyer enablement. Let's jump into that a little bit more in depth because I think it's something that has a name to it now, at least for me. And again, remember, I'm not the marketing expert here, but it has a name for me on the way that my company and a lot of other companies I've been with really are most successful because it isn't. Sure, you might be talking to the decision maker, right? You might be talking to that person who has all the signature capabilities, has the budget, all those things, but they don't work in a vacuum and they work with a team, right? So um, many times during the sales process with places, you're talking with a group of people at some point. Maybe you first initially are talking with that one contact, and then as it seems to be moving forward and things are positive, all of a sudden, Susan shows up, and then Bill shows up, and then
Not Susan. I hate when Susan show. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Yeah,
and
yeah,
and all of a sudden you're on a Zoom call with 5, 6 people, talking through your potential proposal and those types of things. And but what's happening, what's grinding your gears sometimes is as soon as you get off that call, they're having the meeting after the meeting,
yeah.
and you're wishing you could be there to help answer more questions that they didn't either feel comfortable asking you in the moment, or they just didn't think of until afterwards. And I had one of these this week where luckily right after the meeting they emailed me with additional questions, which is very rare, but it was great, and I was able to answer those questions and move on. But the idea of my contact, my person on the other side there, having everything they need in order to help sell us into the organization seemed like a really important thing. Is this something old, or is this something more people are just paying more attention to? Where is this coming from, Josh? Why is
Yeah.
it now have like a hashtag and all the things?
So COVID advanced this, right?
Okay.
COVID made this more important in my opinion right now. But okay, so here's some information that everybody listening knows, but we'll just put it out there anyways, just in case anyone doesn't, right? You're never selling to one person, just like you said. On average, there's going to be like 9 decision makers at an organization before they move forward with you. So you're never talking to one person. Here's the part that I like to talk about that I think influences the deal more than anything and puts me at least in a headspace to be successful in business development. And that is, be focused on creating an internal advocate for you. Like I literally want anyone on the call or on this live stream that's in business development to be constantly thinking, am I creating an internal advocate for me? Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how important the person is that you're talking to. They're not going to make this decision by themselves in most cases.
Yep.
They're going to have to bring it to a team of people. And when they do that, they're going to either do it with passion, or they're going to do it with like, hey, here's 3 vendors. I don't care. Pick one.
Tell me which one you're going to give me the less grief about, right?
This one's the cheapest. This one's in the middle. This one's the most expensive, right? This one has a really swank office, so they're probably going to charge us a bunch of extra fees. This one works out of a garage, so I don't know, they might be gone tomorrow, right? Like, that's not the story that you want them relaying to their internal audience when they're trying to sell this. You want to really like, here's the value proposition of working with us. Like, I want to help you understand how to sell us to the people in there, right? And that's all about being a storyteller, narrating the experience of buying from you, whatever tool set you're using to do that. I don't need to just sit here and plug Salesreach. Like, here's a really good trick for people. COVID specifically comes in, and we can no longer pitch in a room with a whole bunch of people. When's the last time you pitched in a room with a whole bunch of people? I can't even remember. It feels like a lifetime ago, unfortunately. And when this happened, sales professionals were reaching out to us, and they were like, what are we supposed to do? Like, we sell these huge deals. We've never sold these huge deals without being in a room, doing a presentation and all this stuff. That's when we did our grounded webinar that I think you watched. But
Yep.
but regardless, one of the tips that I gave everyone was immediately starting now. If you have to do a presentation, if you have to put together a pitch, a slide deck, anything for somebody, do not just email that to them. Do not deliver it to them in any digital way that requires them to just go through it on their own. Don't give them that ability. Because if you let them read it in their own head and in their own voice, they're not going to get the important parts that you would have presented in
There's
person.
a lot of context that's going to be missing.
So record a video, do a screen, record your screen, talk them through it, use Loom or a similar service where you can put your face in a bubble on it so they can see you, and walk them through this presentation. Make that the delivery so that you can still be in the room. You're just going to be on a big screen, but you're still in the room. That tip alone is going to help you so much right now. But the thing about it is, like, this isn't changing, man. Let's just be honest with each other, right? Like, sales is never going to go back to the way it was. Businesses are never going to go back to the way they were. The future of work is remote. Nobody's arguing that right now. I'm arguing it a little bit, but only because I like to argue. But the future of work is remote. And so we need to find ways to be impactful without being face-to-face. Things like this, chatting over a Skype or a Zoom or whatever, that's a human experience.
Yep.
But this is just me and you. Now, how do you amplify that? Oh, well, we could live stream it. We're amplifying this conversation right now.
Yeah, sure.
How do we amplify this to a group of internal decision makers? Okay, we narrate it. We make a video for it. We deliver a custom video right to them. It doesn't have to be that hard, okay? Focus on delivering the message that you want to deliver. Focus less on the quality around the production of it, but be deliberate in being human and personal in your approach. Don't just give up and wait for COVID to end so you can get back in the room. Identify things right now that'll allow you to be more human and to impress a large group of people. I guarantee if you deliver a video walking people through a presentation and you give that to your internal advocate, and he's completely your advocate, he has decided that he wants to advocate for you, he will share that video with them. And they will watch that video because most people would rather hear somebody say something than actually read it themselves.
Yeah. And I think it goes it's not just external sales, but internally too. You can use the same sort of thing to pitch your project plan to the client, like after the deal is closed and you're going to, do a project, or you can do it with status updates or demos or things like that, right? I think to your point, there's so much context that gets lost in just shipping out a document that before it was great. We could show up and have a meeting. You could read my body language. You could see my eyes and how I'm excited about this or not. And you get a lot more context that way. So I really appreciate what you're saying, Josh, is that I think, again, if you can, but again, people are scared to do stuff like that, right? Like I'm the idiot that's like, yeah, sure, put a camera on and let's go on YouTube Live. Like, why not? Like, but a lot of other people are like, not so much. I don't know. So, what do you say to people that maybe are a little, maybe shy, or they just don't feel like they've got that presence that they feel like they need to have, how do you coach them?
Yeah, I don't have many sensitive bones in my body. I'm not like a mothering figure. So I usually look at them and say,
don't?
Get over
really?
it.
Huh.
Yeah, no.
That is news to me.
Yeah, I'm not nurturing.
I'm going to make I'm going to make a note here.
Yeah, make a note. And it should say, get over it, right?
Josh says, get over it.
I know what you look like. Everyone you've ever talked to knows what you look like. Everyone you've ever talked to knows what you sound like. If those are the things holding you back from trying to utilize tools like this, get over it. Like, get out of your own head, get out of your own way. You are not helping yourself. It's not like we're all walking around in the world with a paper bag over our head and asking everyone we talk to wear mufflers so they can't hear us, right? Like when we're in the real world, we're fine having a conversation face to face with somebody.
Yep.
Right? What's different about camera? Like, I don't look, surprising enough, Kurt, I don't look better in real life than I do on camera.
Oh, surely not. No.
I look this good all the time. I look this good all the time. It shocks people when they hear that because they're like, wow, we thought that, cameras added 10 pounds. And I'm like, no, I actually am 10 pounds heavier. That's just the way that's how it works for me. If the camera adds 10 pounds, I don't know. But regardless, get over it, right? Like, The people that are being more successful as project managers, as onboarding specialists, as sales professionals, as CEOs right now have grown comfortable using these tools. I got to give you this quick example. This amazed me. So we started a pilot with a huge organization. I won't use the name, but like literally this is a huge organization. And within the first week, they were really excited about the product. And they were like, we're going after this huge deal. And we want to use your software for that. Can we get this set up really quickly? And they did. Within a week, they had set up the system. They had a page created. And what they did next absolutely blew my mind. They reached out to the president of this company, this like multi-billion-dollar organization, and asked him to record the personal video to the company they were sending it to. And that man hit record in our software, smiled for the camera, completely unedited. There's no editing in our video functions. You just hit record and talk. The president of a multi-billion-dollar company did this, right?
Yep.
That man has probably never made a personal video in his life.
No.
He's probably always had a film crew with a script, with a teleprompter, with an editor in the waiting to take out all the ums and ahs and the pauses and the stutters. And he did that, right? Now, look, if he can do that, and this man, he's probably in his 60s, right? Late 50s, early 60s. You talk about the demographics that are leveraging video. Many times people fall back on oh, well, that's for the millennials. Oh, the millennials are the ones doing that. Well, guess what? The millennials are going to mop the floor with you if you don't start embracing these technologies right now, because it doesn't stop when COVID goes away. This is the new way. I'm not the only one predicting this. I'm not smart enough to be like the only one predicting this, but I know this in my soul. And I know that the experts saying this are right. This is never going to change if you can double down on digital interactions to better personalize, better humanize, better educate, better inform, better move them through their funnel, whatever it is. And if it's a tool set that is working across the organization, if you have all teams being more deliberate in a digital space, you will find more success forever and ever and ever. Will we return to the days of taking customers out for steak dinners at Manny's? Absolutely, we will. My prediction, though, is that it will be after you've landed the deal to celebrate landing the deal. It will not be sending your sales team out to court them when they're reviewing 10 vendors for that first introduction.
Right.
We're going to be more deliberate and impactful early on. We're going to win the business. We're going to celebrate in person later. That's when we're going to get out on the planes. That's when we're going to take them golfing. That's when we're going to take them to the restaurants. We're going to spend more money when we've made more money. We're not going to spend more money to make money.
Well, then, so there's that aspect of it, which I totally appreciate. But then there's the dark side, which I call the RFP. And and everything you're saying sounds great. And I totally agree with all of it. But still, I get, once a week or a couple of times a month, I get slapped with an RFP. And there's no request for video in there. There's no request for me to share those things along. I mean, would your suggestion be, now normally we don't respond to RFPs, period. So it's not a big deal. But I do know a lot of business owners that do rely on RFPs to kind of keep things moving. So what would your advice be to them in this sort of new normal on how to sort of navigate the RFP environment then?
Kurt, this morning when I was texting you to get ready for this show, did I ask you to keep your eyes open while you were driving? Did I make that request to you? Did I?
Yeah, sure.
Have I ever asked you to make sure that you're being a good father or a good spouse to your wife? Have I ever asked you that? Like, have I ever requested that of you? Okay. Well, then who cares? If an RFP, you're expected to do better in all facets of your life. You are expected to do better. And if somebody sends you an RFP, why would you ever respond with the minimal viable response to that RFP? Just because they don't say we want to see a video doesn't mean you don't do a video. You need to find ways to stand out above the competition every time. And if it allows you to do things. Now, sometimes there's RFPs where they're like, You have to deliver it this way.
Yeah, right.
And many
Yep.
times, if you don't, the company gets upset and they don't review it.
Yep.
But here's my contention on that. I almost never respond to RFPs. In my current business, I never do because I never get them. It's not a thing in my
Yep.
space right
Sure,
now,
sure.
right? It's not because no one loves me, Kurt. It's because no one does that in this space.
Well, I wouldn't say they love you if they're sending an RFP, but yes,
yeah.
but yes, you have in past lives dealt with RFPs. Yes,
I've dealt with RFPs, and when I respond to them, I don't follow the rules. Shocker alert, right? I don't follow the rules. You're telling me that this is how I have to deliver it, so I immediately know that everyone in my competition is going to deliver it that way. I'm going to stand out. I'm going to do it. And I don't care if I get booted out, because guess what? I have like less than a 10% chance of landing this anyways, right? So I just respond, I go all out. I'll put in things like videos. I'll give them more than they ask for in ways they didn't ask for it. But I think that the trick here is the reason that companies put RFPs out is because what they're hoping is that they can review things in a uniform and simple way. The RFP process was essentially the MVP of my product, because what the RFP was asking people to do is, please stay within the confines of this and make it simple for us to review multiple vendors. My product does just that. If we stay within the confines of a delivery method that makes it easy for you to review things, then it's always going to be right here for you.
Yeah,
right?
It's always easier to review apples to apples, right? So if you can keep things in a similar format, there's not as much research that needs to be done. It should be just black and white in front of them to say, yep, these people have the amount of experience that we're looking for. These people have the price we're looking for, right? All those things, right? To be able to just check their boxes off and go off and do their job because they already have a full-time job. I'm not giving people grief that they do RFPs. I understand why, because they already have a full-time job, and just sourcing new vendors or new people is a whole nother job. So I get that why the RFP exists.
Yeah.
But still, to your point, as the person on the receiving end, I really appreciate that advice, Josh, is just, don't go to the bar, right? Go like scale over it and jump as high as you can, right?
Say, I understand you're reviewing these other companies at your bar, but I built a bar over here and my drinks are free. So why don't you come to my bar and we'll talk about this here? You know what I mean? Like,
I do.
And here's the other thing. Like, how are you starting this relationship? Are we going to work in this way where you tell me to jump and I say how high?
Yep.
Because I'm actually the expert here. You're coming to me because I'm the expert here, right? When people come to Foundry, they're coming to Foundry because they're the experts in creating digital products. They are the experts in helping people innovate within their organizations and to understand the benefits in innovation. Would you ever work with someone that comes to you and says, we're going to innovate, we need this product, you don't need to ask any questions, just build this? No, that's not how we work.
No,
we need to understand the
value
why.
We provide.
No, we need to understand the value behind this. So,
yeah.
Look, just start the relationship off in the right way. So don't be yes men.
So back to the salesperson, the poor trotted upon salesperson, is, they like to imagine themselves cold, shivering out by themselves, trying to, hold their hand out to get the next deal.
Alms for the poor.
Alms for the
poor. Yeah.
Yes. But I appreciate it because, I mean, again, like a VP of sales once told me, like, how would you like a job where 90% of your day is being told no, thank you? It's not a super thankful job, and the lows are you're beat up, and the highs you're hardly recognized. So I get it, but that's why I feel like sometimes salespeople are the hardest to change when it comes to their processes and things, right? So Salesforce, right? People always ask me all the time, like, how did Salesforce become this monstrous company? And, and I'm like, it's not because the salespeople wanted it. It's because the sales leadership was like, what the hell are these people doing? And I need to keep track of this. And so those decision makers were deeper pockets, made this company what it is today. So going back to that enabling, right? So back to your idea about buyer enablement and then the idea about sales enablement, what do you say to these salespeople maybe that are, again, like you said, you talked about that president getting on video. Maybe they're not comfortable with it, or they're like, well, my tactics are working, so why try this new thing? I mean, again, obviously, like you said, get out of your own way, but like, how do you coach salespeople in
Yeah.
using this product, not just those decision makers?
Yeah. So, and I don't know if this is the best way to do it, but this is the way I do it. Salesforce became Salesforce because Salesforce created a product that became the gold standard. Salespeople hate Salesforce. They still hate CRMs. It's not a Salesforce issue. Salespeople hate CRMs. There
Mm-hmm.
isn't a CRM on the market that a salesperson's like, hell yeah, I want to wear their shirt
Yeah,
every
put that on
day.
my phone and my tablet
No,
and my computer.
no,
Yeah, let's do it.
no. But it became the gold standard. You can't be a company today and not have a CRM of some form.
Yeah,
And
even if it's just a
Salesforce,
spreadsheet, right? You got to have something.
exactly. You have to have something, and Salesforce appeals to large organizations with large sales teams. Other CRMs like Copper or HubSpot. HubSpot is typically a marketing CRM, but smaller companies use it for their sales CRM as well. Bigger companies use HubSpot and CRM together, whatever. But they became a product that became a necessity. And so to become a product that becomes a necessity in a company, what you need is adoption. And so when I'm selling
Right.
my product, I don't try to land deals with the entire sales team on day one, because what I know will happen if that happens, let's say I'm talking to a company with 100 sales reps, and I say, great, I'm going to give you a deal for 100 sales reps to license my software every single month. Great, let's go. The adoption of that to those 100 sales reps is going to be insanely low. They're going to regret their purchase almost immediately, and that customer is going to churn. So what I instead do is I say, based on what you know about this product, who are the people working within the walls of this company that are savvy enough, hungry enough to learn a product like this and make this part of their process? Because even if it's only 10 people at a 100-person sales team, if those 10 people embrace it, make it part of their day-to-day, see wins, and start selling better than the other people in their organization, those people will see the success, because we sit in the sales room every day, right?
Right.
Here's the leaderboard. Here's the leaderboard. Oh, Bill and Betty are on the top of the board again. Oh, they're using Salesreach. It must be working. Those other people that didn't want to embrace it right away, they're going to start going, well, this isn't fair. I've literally heard sales reps say, they have called me directly off my website, this isn't fair. Only part of my team has this and I want it. Well, go advocate for yourself. Go tell your sales manager that you want it as well, because what we're doing is piloting it, and we need to know who's going to use it,
Yep.
right? But you need to
For
get
sure.
those early users. That's how you become a necessary tool.
Yeah, and it's funny you mentioned that, because it harkens back to something I did, a very long time ago when I had a bike company when I was 20 years old. And when we started our bike company, we went around to different racetracks, different skate parks, different places, and we found the best unsponsored riders and gave them a free frame and fork. And we're like, here you
Yeah.
go. And we didn't sponsor them or anything. We just gave them the bike, which, wasn't cheap at the time. But what it did is exactly what you're talking about, is people would start to notice, what are those people riding that are so good? Hey, are you sponsored? But no, but I got this free bike from this, and it exploded. The company grew really fast based on that thing. So to your point exactly, if you can find sort of those people that can be the pace car, right, in the organization, and people are like, well, what are they doing over there that's making them so successful, right?
Yep, absolutely. I mean, this is why I went to great expense to purchase a ton of Salesreach t-shirts to give out to those early adopters that were becoming evangelists of the software. Because I'm not kidding. When there were events before COVID, like on the weekends in Minnesota, when we could go to the farmers market together and we could go to concerts and stuff,
Yep.
people were constantly sending me pictures. I just spotted another Salesreach shirt, just spotted another Salesreach shirt, right? When people fall in love with something, especially with a sales solution, it's easy to fall in love with a sales tech product because it's making you money. This
Yep.
product helped me make more money. So of course you're going to love it. And of
Well,
course you're going to
yeah, it's funny you
evangelize
say that
it.
because I was just thinking of Salesforce t-shirts, but the only people I ever see wear Salesforce t-shirts are people that work for Salesforce.
Yeah, you will see them at Dreamforce on the
Yeah,
showroom
right.
floor. That's where you will see those,
Right. When
right?
you see it when you're
Um,
watching Rihanna play for
yeah,
everybody.
yeah.
Yeah. All right,
But I
Josh. Well,
mean,
we got to wrap it up. So
no, we don't.
if I want to know
What?
more about, Sales Reach and the work that it does,
Yeah,
where's a good place to go? Where should I look for more information? How can I get a
yeah.
demo? Blah, 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 all the
Yep.
things.
Yep. So Jared, my marketing manager, at this very moment should be putting a link into the chat where everybody can go to a Sales Reach page that I created that will allow people to learn more, book a time for a demo if they want
It's
to.
also in
You
the
can
description below too, so you can find it there.
also below this, you can also go to salesreach.io. There's a little chat bot on there that you can connect with me on. Go to LinkedIn though, please. Like that's the place that I really like to connect with people. I'm on LinkedIn all day. So just send me a message on LinkedIn. I'll typically respond unless I'm in a meeting, which seems to be all the time. Unless I'm talking to Kurt Schmidt, of course. Then
Of course.
I'm only talking to Kurt.
Of course.
But yeah, please do reach out. If you have questions about what this whole buyer enablement thing is, if you have questions about how our software works, if you have questions about getting started with video, reach out. Like I'm here to help. I'm here to advise. I can't properly evangelize this whole buyer enablement movement if people aren't willing to ask me questions about what it actually is.
Yeah, sure.
So ask.
That's great. Well, for Josh, I just want to say, I mean, I remember when I first met you years ago and you had this crazy scheme about this idea that hardly anybody understood at the time. And you've been so successful. I'm just super proud of you and the work that you've done. So congratulations on all the success. And thanks again for joining me. I always enjoy our conversations.
Yeah, this is always the best conversation that you have every year is when we get together and
It's
chat.
true. Well,
So
maybe we'll make it twice a year, huh?
we should do that. I would
I
like
don't
to
want to
be there
push
for
it,
you
but
more. Yeah, no, no, this has been great. This has been great. And honestly, dude, you're doing a great job setting this up. I
appreciate
remember
it.
when you reached out to me and you were like, what am I going to do here? I can't do these face to face. And we got on the Skype and we got on and I helped you do some, you should probably give me some kudos. I did some troubleshooting with you
You
early
did. You
on.
were my QA.
Yeah, the Schmidt List Live would not be the polished product that
Of
it is
course. No.
without a little Josh. No,
No.
I'm kidding. You've done an incredible job, man. This is
I
really
appreciate
awesome
that.
how you've set this up, and it was an honor being on. So thank you.
Yeah. No problem. Well,
And
thanks,
say hi to
Josh.
all the people at Foundry. I miss all of them.
Yes, they're
There's
great.
so
Oh,
many
yeah.
new
They all miss
people
you
that
too.
there's so many new people there. I never met all of them. But I do believe that the legend of Scotchy the mascot will live on in perpetuity. So at least there will always be that for us to remember. Yeah.
Yeah. No, the memory does not fade quickly. I'll put it that way. There's
All
still,
right.
there's still lots of artifacts in
Yeah,
the
there are.
office. Thanks to
I
you.
left behind the Nerf machine gun, so somebody's having fun with that,
Oh
right?
yeah. Oh no, there's
Yeah.
lots of fun happening there. All right, Josh, we'll talk again soon.
All right. Thank
Thanks.
you.
Thanks.
Bye.
All right, everyone. Well, thank you for watching today. Really appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed, hit the button. Just do it. I'm not going to say the smash and like thing, but yeah, that's fine. You can smash and like. And we are hiring. Remember, foundrymakes.com/careers. And check out what we're doing over there. Again, my name is Kurt Schmidt. I'm the president at Foundry. And this show is hopefully educated and inspired you today. So check out, we got a lot more fun shows coming up. I'm really excited about it. It's going to be quite a few weeks coming up. So hit the subscribe button. I'd love to see you there. And thanks again for watching. Bye.